we're doing is investigating a line of power tools for a company, provide at least data for that problem so this company can develop a solution, or if we can develop a solution for that. A big issue we faced with this project at the beginning was supply chain issues. So because the products that we were supposed to research need batteries to be powered, we need to get batteries in the first place, but those weren't available for several months.
I would say one thing we learned from that though is that we learned how to manage our time for that, because what we did instead is that we set up a plan for the next semester in conducting user studies, and that helped us with time management. And because this research class isn't like really traditional, we have to set our own schedules, unlike a regular class.
Yeah, and one thing that I'd like to emphasize is like when we first started this project, we didn't have a lab to work in, so we needed to reach out to the people we're working for and get all of the equipment needed for the lab, but we also need to take into account that other people will be using it in the future. So we had to, make sure we were getting a bunch of general stuff. And that was definitely a challenge, but it was also kind of nice at the same time because we were able to choose exactly what we needed.
When we collaborate, we generally meet twice a week. One of those meetings is in the middle of the week where we talk to Dr. Summers.
Yeah, and Dr. Summers is currently the head of mechanical engineering, so he knows a lot.
And we deal with our mentor, Dr. Murphy.
Yeah, and Dr. Murphy is also a professor here. He teaches a statics class, and he's a postdoctoral research assistant.
So
generally what we do, like in those meetings, is that we try to they give us advice about how we can progress in our project, and plans that we can make and schedules that we can make to further our research with our company.
One thing that's really interesting about talking with the company compared to talking with like your research advisors is that they both kind of want different things. The company just wants as fast as possible, but with detailed information. They want it like all compressed, but when you're with research, they want more of like exaggerated, long, detailed things. So it's a bit of a contrast, but it kind of teaches you the difference between working with a company.
Change your expectations when you're dealing with different people.
Mm-hmm.
The steps that I followed was looking through like the entire MEC faculty, seeing what they were busy with their research, and seeing what it is I like. I would suggest emailing them, or if you have a class with them, just approach them and say, hey, I like what you're researching, and I'm really interested in it. Is it okay if I come to a meeting for one of these research projects? Or do you have a spot that I could possibly fill in? Can I help?
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing here is just to ask. Like a lot of these professors will have their whole calendar on their Outlook, and you could schedule meetings with them, and you don't have to know them to do that. You could just do it, and you just express your interest and curiosity, and it probably will go well after that.
Changing your expectations for how you communicate with people. Like, these two are my friends, and since we're doing a serious project, there are some problems when communicating. Of course, it's not always serious communication. There's no like strain in that sort of sense, but sometimes there are like miscommunications, like, oh, this is not as serious as it really is.
Right.
So sometimes we have to look at each other differently when we're doing this project, and the same thing goes for when we're dealing with our advisors. Each one of them is unique. They have their own different styles and preferences. So we have to accommodate that. We have to be prepared for that every time we meet for them. And then when we're talking with our corporate client, that's also a very different expectation. They want, short, concise, dense communication, where our advisors, not so much. They like long, dragged out, detailed conversations with breaks and, little tangents in between. And with these two is also a very different thing.
We actually have ownership of this project. And because of that, we have the freedom to do, or schedule our own like events throughout the week or throughout the month. And compared to a regular school project in which we're given deadlines,